Hey, welcome to the DBB channel. Before we begin, I'd like to mention that this video is going to be a long ride. A best of 5 game, or also known as a first to 3 tournament game, that had around 50 minutes of raw footage edited to a 90-minute worth of a video. Now we are back with a revenge match of the yellow hybrid against the Lilithmon. Tweaks are given for both decks from the previous time, and deck list will be shown at the end of this video. Now without further ado, let's dive right into the game itself. We do see a Digimon evolving the Icemon instead of swinging the Icemon, because we do see the twin, or rather the dual yellow tamer there on the yellow side of the field, which is actually pretty scary given that he does have TK as well as that tamer set up on turn 1 already, so we don't really want him to actually start with 5 memory on the second turn. Now we shall see how we're gonna move here. We do actually evolve to the Ogremon in the nursery there, putting him to 3 thanks to that TK. Now he's gonna go for another TK here to look at the security, picking up another dual tamer there, but he does put the purple player to 1 memory there, which is very strong in my opinion. But we do have a Labramon hardcore here, which will be discarding the Ogremon from hand. We do put him to 3 memory once again, and he's gonna just play the dual tamer that he picked it up. And on just turn 3, he does have already 4 tamers on his side of the field, and that's going to be quite sick, especially because he does play this purple option here, which does basically kill off a level 5 below Digimon for each hybrid or tamer on his side of the field. We don't forget to activate the Analog Boy there because the Lady Devimon does die, but we do activate the Icemon effect here through the skill of the Lady Devimon, discarding the Icemon. Now we do hardcore Labramon, so putting in the 3 memory already, so the 1 memory gain wouldn't really do too much here. He does evolve to the Gazimon finally in nursery and going for the purple option once again to actually clear off the board, healing off that field, making it empty, but we do have the Analog Boy to actually gain that memory and hatch the Digitama, and we do activate the Devimaramon skill to discard the Icemon once again, spawning it, so we do have a level 4 to actually start the turn with, so that's very nice. Especially when we do have 4 memory to work with, so we can actually evolve into a Lady Devimon, which I do have in my hand. In this case, we will be going to Lady Devimon, drawing 2 more cards, discarding the Lilithmon, which should allow us to gain 1 memory when discarded. We should do so here, putting us to 2 memory. Now actually be evolving to the Icemon Scattermon in the nursery there, given that we don't really have much place to make as we hardcore the Labramon to pass the turn. It's gonna push out the TK there to evolve to this hybrid Digimon for 2 costs. And I must say, this deck he's going for is actually the stall route. Basically, there's a lot of ways to actually play yellow hybrid, but he's going for the stalling option here. And he does actually memory choke me here with just 1 memory and does heal 1 for himself, putting the 6 security already. But we do have 20 drop zones to start the turn with, so we do have a Jack Rate that gives us 2 memory, which is very good because you can actually evolve to a Lilithmon here to pick up that Jack Rate back to hand. But unfortunately only 1, but we activate the Jack Rate here, putting us to 4 memory thanks to that Lilithmon ability. And going for the Mega Digimon Fusion here to evolve to the Zord, allowing us to actually basically start the loop. If you guys have not already known how the loop works, basically it's just to cheat out the Zord, summoning level 5 to the field, bouncing that level 6 to hand, and then evolving it on top of the level 5 that you caught, taking out the Jack Rate to actually continue having memory and doing a lot of stuff in that 1 turn. We do activate a Jack Rate beforehand, and we do actually push us to 7 memory, then evolving the Lilithmon to pick up that 2 Jack Rate to hand. It will be activating that 2 Jack Rate once again, which will push us to actually 10 memory with the second Jack Rate, because every Jack Rate is 2 memory and with Lilithmon is actually additional 2 memory. But we're using this new BT7 option here to actually kill off our Zord, to actually pick up 2 purple Digimons from the drop zone to our hand. But we do unfortunately forgot to use the Analog Boy effect, because Analog Boy can actually be activated for level 5 above Digimon with Digisource. So that 1 extra memory and that extra Digitama will actually done a lot of work. But it's the first time I actually do experiment myself with Analog Boy doing so much shenanigan. And we are preparing 7 Digimons to actually swing at the 5 security KS there. I wonder what can go wrong, but I just go for the Analog Boy here to actually look at the top 3 and taking the Susanoomon and hardcore the Gazimon to prevent any extension, or rather the Jack Rate from being played too much, because I do have to kill the 2 Gazimon first. And we do have only 4 decks, or rather 4 cards left in the deck, and we'll be using the Promote Digimon to actually swing at the security first, because you do want to activate the level 4 skill to kill off the Gazimon, hitting the first security there. And we do hit into this purple option to start things off, and there's 4 tamers on inside the field, so right off the bat there's 4 Digimon being killed off here, and with a deck size left of 4, this is not looking too good for the purple Lilithmon for sure. It does actually hit to a TK and pick up the level 5 hybrid Digimon from nursery there, and he's definitely gaining a lot of advantage as Lilithmon used the Ogremon skill to kill off that Gazimon to swing 2 security checks, and does die to the Susanoomon in the security. We do go for the Mag Ishida here to actually hope to do something, we do pick up the Lilithmon, but thanks to his dual tamer, he does gain 4 memory and does start the turn with 7 memory, and man, the option really make this game so hard for Lilithmon. But well, that's a very strong security check as we do go to level 5 hybrid Digimon which he picked up from TK earlier, and then going for the Seraphimon. So as you guys can see, how is this a store option or rather a store route for this yellow deck, because he does play more towards the healing and he does play a yellow dual tamer to pass the turn. And now regardless, he's gonna basically start the turn off with at least guaranteed 9 memory there thanks to that TK as well as 3 dual tamer. As we start off with 10 memory for this time, because we do evolve to the Digimon, putting to 4 memory. It's gonna go for the Zoe here, if I'm not mistaken, that's the name, but he does miss the search because there's no more level 4 Digimon. It's actually gonna evolve on top of it on the level 4 hybrid because he's not gonna swing on this turn, but instead going for the Rise Greymon here. And he's gonna play a Tamer from hand, which will not be able to activate its effect, so TK is not able to search. But it does go for the Dynasmon, which actually secures the game in my opinion, because now he suddenly does have one very sticky board and the sticky security, and we're gonna go for the Analog Boy to actually mill the last one card in the deck and go to game 2. But the game 2, the purple actually start for this game, actually having a Gabumon to start things off compared to the first game whereby it's a Ice-Mon hardcore, but we finally have an Ice-Mon in the nursery as well, so quite similar. And having Ice-Mon to start the game off for Lilithmon is perfect in my opinion, but thanks to that dual tamer, the game wouldn't be so straightforward anymore because you wouldn't want to actually randomly crash the Ice-Mon to security and giving him memory advantage for the next turn. And instead we are going for the Lady Devimon, which is actually harder to kill in my opinion for him. As we discard the Ice-Mon Scatter Mode, this Ice-Mon can come out because we do have a Scatter Mode in the drop zone. He's going to go for the Analog Boy to start the turn off, and I must say Analog Boy does a lot for this deck because it mills the drop zone, or rather it fills the drop zone, allowing you to play tools as Susanoomon alongside the white option, so it's just a perfect card in its own. And that card definitely feel balanced, and I mean it in a very good way. Now we do see the Ice-Mon swinging as security because we don't want to store too long, because we want to learn from our first mistake whereby having a lot of Digimons on the field preparing to attack might hit into purple option, and that's going to end in a very devastating way. But finally do hit into a TK there, so guaranteeing him to start the game off with 5 memory thanks to a TK and a dual tamer, so that's pretty annoying. But it is what it is, as we do hardcore Labramon to actually draw 1 and discard 1. Discarding the Lilithmon. And going for Matt Ishida here to pick up the Ice-Mon because Ice-Mon has so much value there. And he does have 2 guaranteed memory, or rather 2 memory gain thanks to the dual tamer, putting him to 6 memory. And he's going to evolve to level 4 hybrid here. And then evolving to level 5 hybrid for just 1 cost, allowing to heal 1 as well. Man, that card is just too sick. And he's going to go for the purple option here because he does want to kill the Lady Devimon and the Labramon, and we do remember the Analog Boy. And we do discard 1, or rather draw 1, discard 1, discarding that Ice-Mon once again thanks to the Demi-Meramon skill, so that's a very sticky Digimon if you ask me. We do push out the Lilithmon. And since we do have 10 drop zone, we'll be evolving to the Buzamon here for 4 costs, and there is some BT2 stuff as we swing at security, not dying because we do hit into a Gazimon there, and swinging the Ice-Mon which is 7k DP, another Gazimon, so that's very fortunate on our end. We'll be going for the Analog Boy to mill further to search more for the deck. And we do pick up the Labramon instead of the Lady Devimon, putting the rest to the drop zone. And he does start the turn on with 4 memory thanks to that little dual tamer once again. He's going to evolve to the Dynasmon here, and I must say Dynasmon in this deck alone does a lot of work because it does similar with Analog Boy, basically emulating the drop zone or filling up the drop zone, and then basically doing this kind of shenanigans whereby you do activate TK, and because you do reduce the security in that instance, you do gain 1 more security, so basically he's now at a healthy 3 range instead of a 2 just now, so that's a free heal right there. And we're going to go for the Mega Digimon Fusion here, evolving on the Buzamon, and then mulling top 3 to actually call the Lady Devimon, a second Lady Devimon at that, thanks to that Zod ability. I'll be swinging at the Dynasmon and using the ability to kill off that Gazimon, so it's going to be a board wipe there. But unfortunately, we do bounce that Buzamon to hand instead of Lilithmon, so this turn won't be actually much as extended as we do want to. But we do have the Jackraid here, and then we're going to evolve to the Lilithmon here once again to actually pick up the Jackraid to hand, which is only 1 copy if I'm not mistaken. And thanks to that Lilithmon ability, we push to 4 memory. And we'll evolve to the Kinkakumon for 2 costs in nursery. And then going for another Jackraid here thanks to the top draw, putting us to 3 memory already, and then evolving to the Black Wogramon. Preparation for the next turn. As we do evolve to Lilithmon here, because we are pretty much afraid of the purple option, which only kills level 5 below. and the Zord does die thanks to that white Digimon fusion spell. And now it's going to push up the TK here to actually evolve to the Hyper Digimon, and then evolving to this level 5 for just 1 cost again, and putting the 4 security here so conveniently, and then passing the turn with a Dual Tamer. Now we do start the turn off with 3 memory here, and we do have 3 Digimons on the field, and we're using the Black Wargramma ability to Digiburst, calling out the Gazimon from the drop zone. I'll be using this 1 cost option to actually kill off a Lilithmon so we don't gain that memory beforehand. But thanks to that 2 Analog Boy, we do gain 2 memory thanks to that level 5 above Digimon dying. So we're actually able to do our Lilithmon loop either way. We do pick out Lilithmon from drop zone and the Inmon. I'll be evolving the Lilithmon on the Wargramon there to pick up that 2 Jack Raid from the drop zone. And now I'll be casting the Jack Raid here to push us to 4 memory thanks to the Lilithmon ability as well, and pushing it to 6, which allows us to evolve nicely to a Omimon Zord here. And looking at nearly a top 3, putting the Lady Devimon and the Inmon there. No, sorry, the Icemon instead. And I'll be swinging at the security using the effect to bounce the level 5 Digimon to hand, or the level 6 Digimon to hand. But I do forget about the Analog Boy, and man, that card basically end my turn immediately there, and that is a very strong misplay because we basically missed the opportunity to do anything further, which is pretty important because you do want to set up to kill that yellow player. Now he does actually push out the Dual Tamer to evolve to the level 4 Digimon here. And then once again evolving to the level 5 Digimon just to heal 1 again, putting into 4 security. And now he, because of that Susanoomon in hand, he's going to use the white option, combo out with the Analog Boy, evolving to the Susanoomon. Now he just has to put up to 10 Tamers and Hybrids to the bottom of the deck to basically evolve on the Tamer right there. And thanks to that Omi spell, he's actually able to just evolve 1 cost, killing off that Zord. And he's actually not going to swing at security here because he do want to play careful, using the purple option to nuke more further onto the board. And man, that turn is just disastrous because we do start our turn with just Digimon, which is going to die here thanks to the Dynasmon in the security. And then at this point, we are back to what we seen in game 1. The purple player is out of resources and we are going to hardcore 2 rookies to actually pass the turn, hopefully to deal some sort of lethal damage. But we're going to end our hopes and dreams here with the purple option once again to kill off that board. Man, this is just brutal now looking back at it. We're going to look at Inmon and actually hardcoring Digimon to put into 5 memory, but thanks to that Dual Tamer, he does go 7 memory and he's going to have a lot of plays to make here as he does push out the Yellow Tamer and evolving to the level 4 Hybrid for 2 costs. And then evolving to the Angelomon for 3 costs, putting into 4 security. Man, that guy has so much security, man. Now he's going to play TK here to actually search for Digimon. In this case, a Dynasmon from the security, and now he's going to guarantee 3 memory the next turn. And with 4 this security and 3 Digimons only on my side of the field, this game is not looking too good. And we do have only 2 cards in the deck size itself, so this game is going to end in a draw once again, as he does evolve to Dynasmon to pass the turn, and he's going to beef up the security even more because he's now going to look like he has 5 security, and we do concede because there's no way out, and we do start out the third game with the yellow player going first, and having Gazimon in the first turn, then going for the Zoe here, but he does miss the search. That's very unfortunate on his end. Now we do have the purple player going, starting a turn with 3 memory, and then evolving to our own Gazimon there. And evolving to the Icemon Scatter mode, which is a blessing to see always in turn 1. And we do actually hardcore Labramon to draw 1, discard 1. Actually, we are going to drop Lilithmon early in the game, putting into 1 memory already. He's going to hardcore his own Gazimon to give us the 2. And this is going to limit some sort of play, but Icemon Scatter mode had enough. But hitting that into that Dual Tamer is just hopes and dreams just seems to be crashing down, and it suddenly felt like a misplay to actually swing the Icemon, but we never know. We're gonna hardcore the Labramon to draw 1, discard 1 to pass the turn, and it's gonna start the turn off with 5 memory here. Man, that's some insane stuff, but he doesn't have any level 4 in hand, which will basically punish us further. So it's gonna hardcore level 5, which will be a setup for a Dynasmon in the future turn, or even a Seraphimon because he does play those. And Icemon will swing at security here, and thus finally dying to the Dynasmon in the security. And now I'm gonna draw 3, discarding 2, discarding a Black Wargramon and Icemon, which allow him to spawn out, and Devimon will activate 2, drawing 1, discarding the Abusomon, and then evolving to Labramon in the nursery there, swinging at the security because there's no point to actually drag this game further. But man, that Dual Tamer once again and a Dynasmon again in the security. This is an uphill battle as we do evolve the Lady Devimon for 3 costs, and we're going to discard the Lilithmon and the Gazimon there. But thanks to that Gazimon on the opponent's side of the field, it does block the memory gain of the Lilithmon. so it does stop the turn from extending, so that's very unfortunate on our end. It's going to evolve to the Lilithmon here. On top of the level 5 he just previously caught, and it's going to swing at Lilithmon, and this is going to feel good on his turn, and he's going to play the third yellow dual tamer there. So basically it's going to guarantee the turn with 7 memory at least, and that's a lot of memory if you ask me. We're going to evolve to Lilithmon to start off the loop here, and going for the Mega Digimon Fusion, and activating the Devimon ESS skill to actually kill off the Gazimon, and evolving to the Zord here. Unfortunately, we do not get any memory through the Lilithmon effect thanks to the Gazimon, but we do have Ogremon to deal with the problems of the Gazimon here, discarding the Kinkakumon to kill it off. Now, fortunately, this game we don't see any analog boy on his side of the field, so we are able to kill the Lilithmon on with pretty much ease and not being punished by the memory gain once again, and don't go for this 60% win rate here, allowing us to evolve the next Digimon for basically reduced 4 cost. In this case, the Lilithmon is a free evolution. You're gonna pick up 2 Jack rate here, but unfortunately we don't really have the massive hand size to actually abuse this extensive memory gain. We're gonna use the analog boy here to search further for pieces. In this case, we're actually searching for Omimon Zord, but we don't have that luck, and we go hit into a Mega Digimon Fusion here. And Labramon will actually be evolved to the Icemon to cycle further into the deck. We do actually top deck Matt Ishida here, we're going to be playing it, and thanks to the Dual Tamer, he does start the turn off with 10 memory, and man, 10 memory is a blessing in this game. But we do forget to actually put the Zord to the bottom of the deck, which will be doing so in a few seconds here. And as he does actually go for the level 4 evolution first, and then evolving to level 5 to actually heal 1. And we do finally remember here, so we're putting the Zord to the bottom of the deck. And let's go for the analog boy here to look at the top 3, merely that 2 purple option, which he maybe wanted it, but he does actually have the level 4. So that's very fortunate for him because he's going to evolve it and allow him to actually extend the turn by evolving to a level 5 here for 1 cost once again, putting to 2 security. And then swinging at one of the Icemon because it is only a 5 KDP during my turn, or during his turn. And now it's going to end the turn by evolving to the Seraphimon, and with that 10 memory, he suddenly has 3 security out of nowhere, and I only have 2 Digimons, and I'm in a very familiar situation in Game 1, Game 2, whereby my deck is basically running low. And it's a very tough game, I would say, against this guy, but I would say all of them are pretty much close. And we do use the analog boy to pick up the Zord, which we wanted in the previous turn. And we do go for the Jack rate here, which will push us to 5 memory here thanks to that Jack rate 2 memory and the Lilithmon 2 memory. And we swing at level 5 here, and we don't forget about the analog boy here, putting it to 4 memory. Now going to evolve to the Zord, and then milling 3, and spawning the Lady Devimon and a Black Ogremon. Now he does start the turn off with 6 memory here, and he does have the Omimon spell and the Susanoomon to actually do shenanigans, and he's going to answer the board and basically win from there, because that's how you basically win against Lilithmon. Lilithmon loop is a time bomb in itself. They basically kill themselves, so you do want to actually store as much as possible. And he's going to swing the Susanoomon at the Zord here, and he doesn't want to swing the Susanoomon at the security because he do want to play safe, because you know, you never know when you're going to hit the security, and you're already winning just by stalling the game anyway. And suddenly he has 4 security thanks to the Angelomon, and we'll be swinging at the security with the Inmon here and dying to the Demi-Merimon skill. And with that, the purple game concedes. Now, this is the yellow deck list you guys might be interested in. And this is the Lilith Loop deck list. Thank you guys for watching till the end. Do consider subscribing, dropping a like and a comment if you guys enjoy the content.